Hi YouTube, it's Julia Creations and I'm back with another video. Oh my gosh, you guys, like I'm so hot right now. This is crazy. The weather has been so humid here, y'all. Oh my gosh, I can't. But welcome back, you guys. If you're new here, hi, my name is Julia Creations. I am a budget coach and I like to post budgets to help people learn how to manage their money from clients that I have already done, help them set up game plans that I have permission to repost, all of that good stuff, you guys. So this one's gonna be a really short one. I know I've been giving you guys like a lot of short content, just like basic budgets, nothing too crazy, because honestly I haven't had anything too crazy lately to even share with you guys. But I do have a whole playlist I'm about to drop within the next week, so prepare for a whole bunch of uploads coming back to back. So I may be giving y'all some short content right now, but y'all gonna have some back-to-back videos coming out within these next 2 weeks, so just be prepared for those. I don't know if I'm gonna stick to my posting schedule. I'm doing like a series that I want to post, so be on the lookout for that, you guys. So your girl been working, okay, and I've been taking a lot of consultations. Look at these little planner tabs, you guys, I'm working on for the planners. Super cute. I've been taking a lot of consultations and all of that good stuff, you guys. So you know, I'm still gonna show up on YT. I ain't forgot about you guys. But anywho, we're gonna be setting up a budget for one of my clients who just moved, and she's just trying to get her standard budget set up with her new living situation. So let's jump straight into it. The first thing we're gonna do is set up her bill payments calendar, write down all her paydays, all that good stuff, and get us set up here. Sorry guys, I don't know why it's having such a bad glare today, but here are all of our bills and expenses. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to break this down to a bi-weekly budget, but we're going to set up our monthly overview just to plan all of our variables out. This is our calendar, you guys. Keep in mind, if you're about to start a new month, you always want to write down your last payday, because your last payday is going to carry over some of your bills. So that's why we section it off like that. So now we're going to go ahead and set up our monthly budget. I apologize, you guys. My dog's eating in the background, so if you hear crunching, that's why. Alright, you guys, I turned the brightness down. I had my brightness up because the last time I was using my digital planner and it was just so bright. I was like, how you guys? Or it was so dark. I was like, I need to get that glare right. Playing with my camera settings. Alright, you guys, so this is going to be for a September budget. So our budget goal is to save / build emergency fund. Oopsie. Emergency fund. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and write down our pay period. So we're paid bi-weekly. So bi-weekly number 1. Bi-weekly number 2. I'm going to put our amount after tax, which is $1,100. Alright, let's go ahead and put our dates in here. So our paydays fall on the 5th and the 19th. So I'm going to say 9/5, 9/19. Now we're going to go ahead and write down our fixed versus our variables. These are going to be our bills that are usually the same every month. So we're just going to pull everything from our calendar. And then we're going to go ahead and set up our variables based off our spending habits. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this in and be right back. Alright, you guys, so now that we went ahead and wrote down our expenses and set up our bills and then our variables, you adjust this based off what you want to budget it for each month. I always say pull your bank statements to see how much you average on your regular day-to-day spending. So let's go ahead and add up our fix. Alright, so our fixed bills total to $12.69. Let's go ahead and add up our variables. 220 plus 75 plus 100 plus 28 plus 100 is 523. 523 plus 1269 is going to be 1792 as our expense total. So let's see what our full income is for the month, which if we take 1100 and times it by 2, we're bringing in 2200 per month. So we want to figure out how much money goes into our savings. So what we do, we're going to take 2200 and we're going to minus it from 1792. 2200 minus 1792 is going to be 408. And she doesn't have any debt, you guys. She just wants to build her savings cushion and see, you know, how her bills are going to work and all that fun stuff. So let's go ahead and highlight this here. We're supposed to have 408 left over after bills and expenses. Perfect, you guys. So now let's break this down to a bi-weekly budget so we can see actually how these bills are going to work using our bi-weekly template. So the first thing we're going to do is set up our weeks of, you guys, and we're going to start with September 1st to September 8th. So we're going to say September 1st to September 8th. And this is going to be our Sunday through Monday. Then we're going to say September 9th. You're just going to go ahead and do your Mondays through Sundays, and then we're going to write down what our paydays fall on this. So super easy and simple to set up. I'll go ahead and put this in here. And then September 16th to September 22nd. All right, perfect. All right, you guys, so now we're gonna go ahead and section off. So we know our first payday of September is going to fall on the 5th of September. So it will fall in this week of. So we're gonna go ahead and say payday. It's gonna be 9/5, and we're gonna be bringing in $1,100 according to this payday. So we need to cover all the bills that will come out before the 19th because the 19th is our next payday. So next payday is going to be 9/19. So we have 0 coming in this next week. So we need to cover ourselves for the 2-week span. So we need to cover from the 5th all the way to the 19th. How we graphic that on our calendar, we're going to go ahead and use our section off. So I'm going to say payday on the 5th, and we're going to cover everything that falls into this section. And that's going to section us out for our 2-week span, you guys. Look how easy that is to just section off. So what about the bills that will come out before our payday? Those will be covered with our last check of August. So we're going to go ahead and section these off for August's paycheck. So she would have to use her last check from August to cover these bills and prepare for those. We're going to go over this again when we get to this last week here because this is going to be a duplicate, but we're going to go ahead and start with this paycheck and worry about everything that falls from the 5th to the 19th. So let's go ahead and take our highlighters, and we're going to go ahead and set this up on our bi-weekly budget. So we know for sure we need to cover our renter's insurance for $20. So we're going to go ahead and put renter's insurance, which is going to be $20. Then we're also going to put our light bill for $150. All right, we have our light bill for $150. So you guys, another thing we are going to do is she gets $1,100 bi-weekly and her rent is about $1,024. So we don't have basically a check that will cover our rent. So we have to do a split. What is a split? It's where 2 checks are going to cover our rent instead of just using one whole check on our rent. Why is this important? Because based off her budget, we haven't even covered her variables yet, and we wouldn't have enough money to section that off. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a portion of each check towards rent moving forward, so rent's already pre-saved. So we're going to go ahead and prepare for October's rent. This is going to be the first half of October's rent, and this is going to be the second half of October's rent, because she doesn't get paid again until the 3rd of October. So we need to cover any bills that will fall through that time frame. So this way we can basically plan for our rent in advance. If you're at a point where your bills are super tight, that means it's perfect to section off your bills and divide them. So we're going to split each check to putting $512 away for our rent, so that way we're not stressing when rent comes up and trying to use our whole last check to cover rent. Okay, so now this is where we go in and we look at our variable expenses. Let's see how much we total for our bills this week. So we have $1,100 coming in this week, and these are our main bills. We haven't adjusted our variables yet. So 20 plus 150 plus 512 is going to be $682. Straight off the bat, $682 of this will go to bills. So now we need to figure out how we're going to section off our other expenses. So we have a self-care budget of $220. We're going to go ahead and take $220 and we're going to divide that bi-weekly. So we're going to go ahead and set our self-care for $110 bi-weekly. And then we have our household items at $75 per month. We don't get paid again till the 19th, so we need to section it off. 75 divided by 2. We're just going to go ahead and put $37 for household items. And then our miscellaneous budget is $100 per month. So we're going to go ahead and put $50 bi-weekly for miscellaneous. And then our groceries are $100 per month. So we're going to go ahead and put groceries for $50 bi-weekly. Because this will have to cover us for this week that we don't get paid. So let's go ahead and add everything up from this week. Let me zoom in here, you guys. Sorry, I didn't realize how far back this was. All right. So we got self-care, which is going to be $110. Household, which is going to be $37. Miscellaneous $50. Groceries $50. So that's going to bring our variables to $247. Let me add that up one more time. 110 plus 37 plus 50 plus 50, 247. So 247 plus 682 is going to bring our expenses for this week to $929. So how much money do we get to put in our savings? We're going to go ahead and take our income minus our expenses. And this basically would be considered a zero-based budget as well, you guys, because the money that's left over isn't spending money. It's going strictly to our savings. So we'll be able to put $171 in our savings. Oh my gosh, sorry you guys. I didn't notice you guys couldn't see. I'll be getting too into it. All right, 171 will go in our savings in this time frame, you guys. All right, you guys, so now that we went ahead and we covered this current week, we're going to go ahead and go to our next week. So the next week, what we have coming up is going to be our payday again, because remember we covered ourselves for 2 weeks. So we're going to have our payday coming up on the 9th again. And we have to cover everything before the 3rd of October. So this is basically our 2-week checks, you guys. So this is a lighter week. As you can see, we don't have too much going on this week. Just subscriptions basically, and then our other split of the rent and our phone bill coming up. So this is where we will plan in advance. So we know we have rent coming up, which is going to be $10.40. And I'm just going to write the full amount just so we have the dates correct. And then we also have our phone bill, which is going to be $50. So we know we would have to cover that right off the bat with this check. So we're going to go ahead and do in our bi-weekly budget. We're going to go ahead. Let me move this out the way, guys. Hold on. All right, you guys. I be having too much going on. So what we're going to do here is we're going to section off our next paycheck and cover these bills. Let me zoom in a little closer. Sorry, you guys. I didn't realize how far away I was. Hopefully you guys can still see. Oopsie, I'm dropping everything. All right, you guys. So we're going to go ahead and cover this week. So we know we have our subscriptions coming out for $28. Subscriptions are technically a fixed expense, you guys. I put them as a variable because you can always cut those to save money. So we have our subscriptions. And then we've already paid off our first half of the rent for October. So we're going to go ahead and pay off our other half for the rent, which will be $512 left. And you see why splitting is perfect, you guys. Our income is $1,100 because if we had to use $1,100 on one check of our rent, we wouldn't have any room for any of our other spending that we need. So no bueno. We got to have that nice, okay? We got to have that nice. So we have our rent. And then we also have our phone bill, which is going to be coming out. And our next payday is on the 3rd, so we don't have to worry about anything else in that section. So we'll put phone for $50. Alright, you guys, our phone for $50. And now we're just going to go ahead and put our variables in. So self-care, again, is every 2 weeks. So guys, you do get 6 weeks in this template, but you really don't need it if you set up your budget correctly. The next week is going to be a blank week because it's that week that falls before the next payday. And then our October budget, so we can get started on setting up October. Miscellaneous for $50. And then we have groceries for $50. Alright, let's go ahead and add this up. 512 plus 50. It's going to be 562. This is a simple budget, but it's so easy to show how nice the templates are. So you don't have to stress. Like, it literally makes setting up your budget so easy. And you can see everything. So we got our self-care, our household, our miscellaneous, our groceries, because those are the ones that are going to repeat again. So it should look pretty close to your other one. We had subscriptions this week, which we didn't have before. And that gives us our expenses total to $837. All right. Let me go ahead and add this up one more time. 28 plus 110 plus 37 plus 100. I always get nervous that I'm going to add something up wrong and then not notice and keep going. I've done that before, but usually I always catch myself. So, gotta make sure, because y'all will crucify me in those comments if I mess up a number. Alright, so we got $263 going in our savings. And just like that, we're able to see how much we saved for the month. So let's see if this matches the budget that we set for the month. So according to our monthly breakdown, we should have $408 left over. So let's go ahead and see if we got that $408. So the first week we put $171 in our savings. The second week we put $263. So we actually had a little bit more left over. I think the difference is we get paid again when we have our renter's insurance coming out. So yeah, you guys, I think that's what offset us. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Self-care, subscriptions, Nope, you guys, we're all set up. So we actually had an additional $30 that might just roll over. Oh, you know what, guys, I did forget something. I just noticed. See, this is why it's good to go back and look at your budget. The Wi-Fi comes out on the 13th. Shit, Nits, I hate when I do that. All right, you guys, so we had to put our Wi-Fi in here. That's why we had an extra $30. Y'all, we're gonna get me. Y'all, we're gonna get me. So let's go ahead and fix this. So we're gonna put Wi-Fi here for 25. I hate when I mess things up. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so guys, if your numbers are off, make sure you check to see what's missing, because usually it'll show you. So this will actually be 707. I need to get some erasable markers or pens. It's 247. Expense total is going to be 954. So 954. Ah! But at least you can see, guys, if your templates don't match, that's when you want to go by and look at something again. So this will actually put 146 in our savings. So 146. Just put it right here. I hate when I do that. 146. All right, you guys, let's re-add it up here. Ah! Y'all, that just made me so mad. That's what I get for not writing it on the calendar. So yeah, guys, make sure you don't forget to write something on your calendar, because it's gonna throw you off. But that's a good example of what happens when you miss something. See, so 146 plus 263, that would give us 409 left over. So that's also how you can check to make sure you set up your budget correctly, you guys. If it doesn't match your monthly, go through and see if you're missing something. So that's why I always recommend to still do your monthly budget and your weekly / bi-weekly. I know sometimes you like to just focus on your paychecks, but the monthly, just make sure you're not missing anything, and you can go over it again, especially if you forgot to write it in your calendar. And that's as easy as it is, you guys, to set up a simple bi-weekly budget. I'm so mad because I wrote that wrong. It's gonna drive me insane, but you guys get it. I'm glad that happened, so you can see how to proof your budget. So if you're set up your budget and the numbers don't match, that's when you want to go through and see if you need to adjust something. So maybe I did that on purpose, a winky face, so you guys can see how you double check your budget to make sure it's correct. Alright, you guys, thank you again for watching. Make sure you guys like this video, hit that subscribe button, and go get your budget planners. We have digital, physical, and bundles available, and calculators. Are you ready to have the easiest templates to follow for your budget journey? Come on, you guys, it's only a few more months left of the year. Imagine what you can do if you start today. Alright, you guys, I'll see you guys later. Have a great evening. Bye, my loves.